I was 6 years old when my auntie fell ill. We were sitting around the dinner table when, without warning, she collapsed on the floor. My little sister Susan and I were so scared, and I'll never forget how helpless we felt. The ambulance came and took her to the hospital, where we would spend the next week. I remember how scary it was to have so many faceless people wearing white coats coming in and out, speaking to us in words we didn't understand. I didn't know if auntie was going to be okay. Fortunately, she got better, and we were able to go home. Later, in high school, I got to shadow some doctors over the summer. So let's talk about all the reasons why that was a horrible paragraph for a medical school personal statement. Number one, childhood was unnecessarily specified. Let's assume that there is something valuable in that experience that we should talk about. It's not really relevant that it happened when I was 6. So why mention it? And anchor the reviewer in my childhood rather than letting them see me as a reflective adult looking back on something with a more mature and reflective perspective. Second issue, emotionality was the main theme of the paragraph. Think back to it. Is there anything that you could actually tell me about me as a candidate from having heard that paragraph? No, because it's all about the emotions and the fear. It's written like an autobiography. No good. So now let's look at it a different way. Say that I do want to talk about that experience. How would I do it effectively in a way that will matter on my med school application in a positive way? Nothing has taught me more about human suffering than sitting at the bedside of my auntie after her heart attack. Difficult medical decisions, intrinsically complex as they were, became all the more intimidating as we endeavored to wrap our minds around diagnoses, equivocal treatment options, and financial implications whilst coping with strong emotions. In reflecting on how various providers interacted with us, I've realized how powerful the skills of communicating empathy and simplifying complex information can be to patients and families in distress. So why was that paragraph better than the first paragraph? Well, first off, timing wasn't specified. I didn't mention when I was 6 or when I was 5 or whatever. There's no reason to do that. Number two, the emotions were downplayed. They were not the focus. Instead, the focus was on the insights, the lesson learned, why it was valuable, why it shaped my perspective on medicine. Three, rather than talking about mom and dad and Susan and whoever, the different characters were kept to a minimum. All of those characters aren't really relevant to the reviewer. The reviewer just needs to understand how this shaped me as a candidate for medical school, so it focused in on that. If you want more detail on how to master the tone of your medical school personal statement, check out the free guides at my link in bio.